Welcome back, everyone. What we saw there was a terrible tragedy in that Team Cube lost their first match. But they're not done in the tournament yet. They're down in the losers bracket, and they could potentially get a win still. I really hope they do. He does.
It's so sad. I just teared up about it.
It's kind of like you unintentionally refer to the teams in plural every single time, but it's just one guy. And
I know. I was
crazy.
just noticing that it sounds really awesome to say like this guy instead of a team.
Is it safe to say that he is the person who's had the single biggest impact on an alliance tournament match in history?
That seems kind of like a stretch, but
yeah, because he didn't kill any ships.
No, but he obviously controlled the outcome pretty strongly there in terms of one person having an effect on the outcome of a match.
He
Probably,
was maybe most responsible for the outcome of any one match.
Yep.
But at the same time, he was webbing people, he was damping people, he was doing a lot of stuff. So.
I really want to know if all those nightmares have exactly the same fit, because I suspect they don't. Which is hilarious.
They probably do. They probably do.
He had like damps and webs on those nightmares and stuff. Like
so, like if you look at the price there, if it's all the same,
it's actually not quite the same. One of them is off by like less than $1 million. I bet they're all the same fit.
So no, they have that means they have like similar, but they have a couple of little tweaks. But
they have different mid slots almost certainly.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's a good try.
Yeah.
He can learn some lessons and come back here. Like definitely. I want to see him roll up with like 3 Vindicators.
I'll say almost no matter
I would love that.
What he does in terms of setup, it'd be very hard to like pilot well enough just by yourself. I mean,
3
it's very, very difficult.
Vindicators.
Like the tournament especially is an environment where piloting is like super important.
3 face rolling Vindicators.
I think it would look just like what just happened.
Isn't that still 60 points there? Yeah.
Yeah. It's exactly the same cost as those nightmares.
Yeah.
But like you actually have answers to most things that aren't something that you just have to hope something doesn't kite you.
Yeah.
Hope something doesn't kite you. Seems like a
But you have a core of 60 points.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you can kill 10 points and keep your Vindicators alive, then you win.
So is this the only strategy that you guys can think of that might actually win with one pilot?
A strong battleship core prevents a strong battleship core means he can throw away to a certain extent his support wing and not actually have to intensely manage a bunch of different ships.
But I mean, if you're going for like a really high damage core with the Vindicators, where are you going to tank them? Like, are you going to tank an entire team of people really focus firing and whatnot with 3 shield Vindies?
No, you wouldn't be shield Vindies, but like you just have to roll across the field and murder as much as you can really quickly.
I think it would be better to try something a little harder to manage that's a little bit more competitive.
Like what?
Like doing something like 2 Navy Ravens, a Nighthawk, and the logistics, which is probably over on points slightly, but something like that. Spend some effort to run the logistics. You should have time to see when something's getting shot. Just orbit yourself and try to shoot missiles across the field at whatever's closest. Like, I think no matter what he does, he's going to lose, but I think that something like that actually could be manageable.
That's called not believing, says Piraz. And we don't do, we always believe here.
Well, then he should just bring 3 Vindicators and believe.
He's got to believe in the heart of the nightmares.
He could probably do with Marauder as well. He could do like just
I was actually
Marauder
wondering if it would be a Marauder.
A cruiser wing in there and just plomp that down somewhere in Bastion and just shoot across the arena.
Yeah, he could do like
possibly
a golem.
The only problem with that is Marauders are actually a lot of management.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a tank that you just sits. You know, you have to actually. And the other thing is, what does he do with the rest of the fleet? Like we talked about that before. You actually have 2 very separate things to manage, and the other part of the fleet would be hard to. We spent a lot of time talking about this.
I'm super interested in this. That's why I really want to keep talking about it. But
all I know is I tried to fly 2 ships at the same time once in EVE Online, and it was really hard.
Yeah, I did that as well, and I completely sucked at it.
Well, to be fair, you can barely pilot one, so.
Wow. Shots fired. But if we were going to go talk about the next match, congratulations to the Providence Wizards. They move on to the winners brackets and live to fight another day there. The next match is going to be Warlords of the Deep versus Epic Finns winning tournaments, and I have the bands right here in front of me. Warlords of the Deep banned the Vargar and the Golem, and Epic Finns winning tournaments banned the Vexor Navy Issue and the Ishtar. which is a setup that
That's
I
bread and
believe
butter
Hydra brought a lot, and
Yep.
they did drone setups, I believe. We're gonna
Towards the
do.
end of the tournament, they did a lot of.
Yeah.
They were using a flagship Dominix for a while, and then once that was
Lost
out,
it,
they switched to doing a lot of cruiser-based drone setups.
Yeah.
So this matches up with that pretty well.
I'm interested to see if they continue that trend. Something deep in my heart tells me they won't.
I have a feeling to start this one off, they would go with something more like Slipner's, but I don't know. Drones are very strong. I don't know if there's other ways they can kind of do that same sort of setup. I know teams were using Gilas.
Yeah, didn't they had a Gila setup.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
You can use
pretty-
Myrmidons as
yeah.
well. There's definitely still options for them. Yep. So it could be something like that, but they're always very good, and they can often make setups work. Just like the PL teams, they can make stuff like Slipner's or the Fleet Foons or something like that perform really well against a wide range of setups.
So you're our CCP Genos insider.
Yeah, of course. I'm basically a
so
member.
What's Garmin's status in this tournament?
I have no
It's
idea.
unclear.
I know that someone around here was talking about how he had claimed that he was, otherwise obligated in real life and wouldn't be very focused on this tournament. But my impression is that whenever there's like the sort of scent of competitive tournament play, Garmin eventually caves and comes running and gets really involved. So
He just needs it in his life.
and I think we were talking about it earlier on the show. But the other thing now is that the Hydra team is just so deep and experienced that they don't even need him. So maybe he'll show up and scream a bunch, but maybe it'll just be Hart and Duncan, doing a really good job. This is a team that just
I've actually
is
never met
so
Duncan.
good at this format.
I've never met Duncan in real life.
I haven't either, but I really like listening to him talk. He's
Never
like a
heard him.
soothing professor type.
Yeah. I like hearing Garmin scream. That's
Yeah, they're kind of opposites. They're a funny pair.
But I mean, this is just an example of a really, really, really solid tournament team.
Yeah.
It's just like they've been around
This isn't-
almost since the beginning.
And there's actually
constantly been doing good.
several of those teams. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing we're noticing going through this sort of schedule today is that there's a lot of very solid teams that have been around a long time. It has always seemed to me like, and of course, I mean, this sounds funny saying considering Verge won a tournament while these teams are around, but it's always felt a bit like Hydra and PL were just above by a bit, that they're kind of always just a little bit ahead of the rest of the pack, even though there's a lot of really
But
solid
that
teams.
still doesn't mean that a team can't break through.
No, of course not.
Hydra more than the other teams is a team of like all stars. Like
Yeah.
there is nobody on that team that isn't like other teams would kill to have on their team. Like they're all stars. Whereas the PL team has their all-star like team captains and their all-star logistics pilots.
And then they
but
have like Elise who flies out of the arena. And
He's the all-star captain.
Oh,
Shh, I
sorry.
never said that. That was not flattery I would ever deliver to Elise. But but then their other pilots can be switched in and out all the time, but every single person on the Hydra team is like a straight up aces pilot.
Yeah, and you just see that wherever they are, they kind of tend to dominate the field.
I'm not gonna lie, when I'm like roaming or whatever, I learned this trick from CCP Rise.
no, Kill2 taught you. CC Perez would never have talked to you that much.
Guild 2 taught me. I just check a Geno's kill board. I'm like, what has Geno's lost recently? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
seems like a good
that's the
thing.
best way to find out what to fly is just go find people who are good and see what they're losing. So I'm looking at setups on the
Ooh.
field.
Yes.
My first guess was right that the Hydra team, the Warlords of the Z team, has gone with
What is
Slipners.
this?
So there's 2 Slipners,
Yeah.
some Sabers, a Scimitar. It's a pretty standard rush team. The other side is much more interesting. The Finns, is that what they're called? Yeah, the Finns.
Yeah, Epic
Epic
Fins
Fins.
win.
They have
tournaments.
gone with an Armageddon, an Astarte, an Oneros, and 3 Celestices.
Yep, that's a fleet I haven't seen before.
Well,
So-
they're new blood in the tournament. They haven't competed before. Maybe they're bringing out something
Honestly,
that we have no idea how it's going to
they
play
heard
out. and it's
damps are
just-
good.
It doesn't. I don't think it's necessarily bad. Celestices are deceiving. They're good for damping, and damps are good in the tournament.
Yeah.
Of course, lowering lock range, lowering lock time, but they also put out like not insignificant damage. They have a drone bay. They have like high slots they can do things with. It's not the worst. I don't know in this case if it'll be enough
Like,
to like bring down a Scimitar, or maybe the damps will keep the Scimitar from doing anything, and they'll have a
but-
chance
so
at
this
something
team,
else.
This team shouts. Okay, we'll talk about this more in the match, but like
Yeah.
ultimately,
What does
I
teal
enjoy-
mean? I don't know what to do when they're teal.
Huh? What?
Well, it's not blue, but it's not red.
That's just status quo. Like
Oh,
the
we
match
just
is
stuck
ready.
with it.
Red,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's not ready. All right, let's
It
just.
is red. It's
It
always
is
been
ready.
teal. No.
What? Okay,
This,
listen.
this has been teal the entire
This
time.
is why I enjoy casting with CZB Fozzie. He's colorblind. We don't have this problem.
I'm sure we'll get the notification that the match is ready soon since both teams are on field. So,
Yeah, this should be a good one though. I think, yeah, I think the Celestas are actually legit. I mean, it's hard to say, but it doesn't seem like the worst setup to me.
yeah, I mean, maybe this
Armageddon's-
is like they tried this out against multiple teams. Like, I mean, they're new. They might be theory crafting on a whole different level or thinking in a whole different way. We'll
They're
find out.
crafting on a whole different level. No, that's mean.
That's mean, CCP Dolan. That is mean.
I just
Why are
don't.
you always so mean?
Okay. All right. I see how we're playing. Whatever. You know what? I love Finn's. Shadu, a famous Finn. He's won some tournaments in his day.
He has.
Perhaps-
Also cooked some really nice meals.
He actually is an amazing cook.
Yes.
Perhaps he's actually the secret backer behind this team.
Maybe. Is Shadu participating in this tournament?
No, he's in Australia, so I think it would
Ah.
be quite early for him.
That's too bad.
But he will be sorely missed.
Yeah, and he is sorely missed. We always enjoy having Shadu around.
At least we have him in that ad to remind us of how crazy he is.
Yes.
Oh well, you know. I love Shadu.
So the match
I really
should
want this
be-
match to go.
I was
I'm excited.
actually
It's ready.
You
It's funny.
teased it way too
Oh,
early.
the match is ready.
It
It's
is
too bad
ready.
because now I have things to talk about. I was
Ah.
gonna say when I was off air on Twitch, I noticed that there is a lot of people who don't know what's going on at all because they haven't seen an EVE tournament before or they're kind of
All right.
new to this. So if we get another break, let's talk about
We
kind
should
of how this
totally
works.
do that after
and
this match.
What
Yep.
we're doing and kind of what's happened in the past.
But
But
now
anyway,
I really want predictions.
sure. I mean, I
Should
always
be-
have to go with Warlords till the end.
Well, to the deep.
Yep, I'm going with Warlords of the Deep as well. They're a solid, strong tournament team that have been consistently good throughout the years.